On our one-a-day journey of faith, there's this very interesting story about the people who lived their journey by faith. Now, I don't know about you, but when I find out that somebody's bones have been disturbed, I think it's a little weird. Like when someone was murdered and they do an autopsy or they dig them up, they move them somewhere else. It's just strange. And that's also true of this passage that we're dealing with. The scripture says in Hebrews 11:32, by faith Joseph at the end of his life made mention of the exodus of the Israelites and gave directions concerning his bones. He made final preparations. That's not weird, but this is about how they are going to move his bones from where he's buried. And he says, I want you to move them 400 miles, and it's going to take 400 years. And they do it. What's that about? Now, when I think about where I'm going to be buried, I say to my kids, hey, put my bones, my ashes, wherever it is that you'd want to be with me. So where we went elk hunting, or where we were at Sun River and rode bikes around the path, just scatter them around the path somewhere. I don't know, maybe that's weird. Or at the Oregon coast in the ocean, or even in the backyard by a rosebush. I don't care. Put your bones where you'd want to be with me. That's not so far from what Joshua is saying, because they're in slavery. And even though he's the number 2 man in the nation, he's not free in the sense of what God has called and what he knows will be. Fast forward 400 years, and it turns out that deathbed request that he gave his kids is lived out by Joshua in Joshua 24 and verse 32. And it tells what happens when it says, as for the bones of Joseph, which the people of Israel brought up from Egypt, they buried them at Shechem in the piece of land that Jacob bought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver. It became an inheritance of the descendants of Joseph. What's interesting is that this is recorded at the end of Joshua's life, that Israel became a great nation. It was blessed with its own land, and they became right in their relationship with God. Joseph was right all along. God is fully capable to make things right in the end. And get this, Joseph breathed that truth into the life of his kids and his grandkids and future generations. We have an opportunity to live by faith that says, God, would you accomplish in my lifetime and beyond the things that I know you can do? Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. What's the inheritance that you're leaving for the next generation of faith by the way you live today? That's our journey of faith, one day at a time. God bless you.